Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I'm Jacob Letman. Before we get going with today's video, if you need an opportunity to make some extra income, we have a link in the video description below for Instacart where you can sign up to deliver groceries. After you do your first 125 deliveries in the first 30 days, you're eligible for a sign-up bonus of up to $1,000. It might be $300 or $500 all the way up to $1,000. It just depends on the area that you live in. But I know a lot of you could use a little extra income right now, so if that's you, check out the link in the video description below. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I'm Jacob Letman. Thanks for being here. We are talking about all things that have to do with rideshare driving, which right now is no driving, basically. Actually, the real question is, are Uber and Lyft going to survive everything that is going on? And, I mean, right, at first you're like, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, a lot of businesses are struggling and stuff, but if you really think about it, and I don't know if you guys have looked into this at all, but big corporations are losing tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, ridiculous amounts of money. Think about like all the casinos on the Vegas Strip that have been closed and how many millions of dollars. Just insane amounts of money. One of the companies that I teach for part-time, Top Golf, they are letting go of a bunch of people and they make tons of money and they're cutting people, and so we're seeing this trend starting to happen because millions of dollars in big corporations, that just doesn't come back from nowhere, you know? So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, that's one thing, but let's talk about rideshare driving. Uber and Lyft, are they going to be able to survive this, and when or if will things get back to normal with rideshare driving? My personal thought is that I don't even know if Uber and Lyft are going to survive this, and there's a few reasons why I think that. Let me see, where am I at? Okay, so first of all, we know that rideshare demand was down 90% or more in the biggest markets for rideshare rides. 90%. So we're talking about the majority of revenue for month and a half, and Uber's worldwide, so they're not just taking a hit in the US, they're taking a hit in many different countries worldwide. On that note, Uber's CTO has stepped down, and it is rumored that they plan on laying off 20% of their workforce. Lyft has already laid off 17% of its workforce. So they're thinning out, they're cutting a lot of salaried positions, trying to save money basically. And what's bad about that is, it's one thing if that happens in other corporations that have to take care of their employees right through a situation like this. Uber and Lyft, they didn't do jack squat for the drivers during all of this. They didn't do anything. They did literally, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you look at what they paid out with their sick pay program, they didn't do crap for drivers. That's one, also a big reason why I think they're looking at maybe the end of days when we come out on the other side of it. I really think it is a very viable thing that those companies could fold. I think, so a couple of things. This whole situation has really shined a light on the worst parts of rideshare driving, in the sense that it shows how Uber and Lyft were not capable and were not willing to step up to the plate and help their drivers, which is where all 100%, well, until they got investors, but that is where the majority of all of their income comes from, is from us, the drivers, the rideshare drivers, you, me. That's where their income comes from. They're not doing anything else to generate income. It's drivers, right? Drivers and they didn't do anything for us. Nothing. The federal government bailed us out with pandemic unemployment assistance, with that program. Do you think that they're going to forget that they bailed out? And it's not just Uber and Lyft. It is the gig economy, right? So when we get to the other side of this, there is going to be a hard look at gig economy jobs and how they're going to classify workers, because you better believe that it will not be forgotten that the federal government had to step up and bail out these workers because the gig economy jobs were not willing to do so. So, and also on that note, the gig economy jobs do not pay into the state unemployment insurance benefits programs. So they didn't add anything to that program at all. So literally they did nothing to help out. So I think they're going to be looked at heavily on that. You know, in California, they already passed into law the bill that would have the state look or make it more difficult for gig economy jobs to classify workers as independent contractors. So that was already happening when all of this pandemonium hit the table. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in California. It'll be interesting to see if there's federal mandates on this kind of stuff. Yeah. So what else did I want to see in regards to this? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think it's really going to be looked at under a microscope when we get to the other side of this thing to see how the whole gig economy operates, and whether or not workers can be 1099, or if they have to be employees, or if there's a whole new sector of gig economy workers and how that plays out. I just find it fascinating, and we start to see Uber and Lyft cutting off, trimming the fat, so to speak, getting rid of those workers, which is sad. And you know what's crazy? They cut those workers, who then in turn, guess what they do? They're going to apply for unemployment insurance benefits. So they're taking more money from the states with the workers that they're firing. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. Oh, and then finally, the final thing that I wanted to say on this topic is that any investors out there, anybody with an idea of how to do rideshare driving better for the drivers, the passengers, they have a pretty good setup, right? They don't have to pay a lot of money. It's way cheaper than taxis. They get better service. Usually it's faster. So it's already a good system for passengers. But for the drivers, not so much. And things didn't go well through all of this whole pandemic with Uber or Lyft either. So if there's anyone out there that's looking to undercut the rideshare industry, they got the perfect opportunity to do so coming out on the other side of this. So stay tuned for that. I think we're going to see a lot of changes happening with the rideshare landscape as we get to the other side of this craziness. All right, you guys. So anyway, if you have thoughts, feelings, comments on this, I'd love to know them, see what you think about it. I know already there's a lot of unhappy rideshare drivers out there, and that's when we were making money before all of the ride demands diminished and we didn't get taken care of or really helped out by Uber or Lyft. So anyway, it'll be interesting. Let me know what you think. I'm Jacob Letman. This is the Rideshare Hub. Thanks for being here. Till the next time, you guys, stay safe out there.